Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I know that in the previous times we've talked about loss, we've talked about things that we've been through as far as pregnancy is concerned. So today, I won't say today, but in the last week or so, it's been 4 years since we had our last pregnancy. And that we came back positive and we had to go to hospitals and all that stuff, but it ended up being an ectopic pregnancy. At that time, I didn't. The wife knows a lot more about ectopic pregnancy than I do. I mean, I wasn't an expert then, but I know a lot about it now.
4 years ago, we got a call after a routine checkup that I needed to come back in because my numbers were dropping, which are my levels as far as pregnancy. If a pregnancy is progressing, which is HCG levels, were dropping. And she told me to come in because most likely they were going to have to, I was either miscarrying or they were going to have to do a removal because she predicted that it was ectopic. We're not going to go too far into what happened and how we got there, but I think it was one of the worst moments of my life with this loss because of the fact that with the other loss, that no one knew but me. So this time I had told my husband, and like we told family members. We did a photo shoot because we were so excited. We weren't even trying. We found out 2 days after our anniversary that in 2017 that we were pregnant. I didn't believe it. I had some quite supportive friends that I sent a couple of pictures to for the pregnancy test, and they saw it, and I just thought I was going crazy, and we got excited and overwhelmed all at the same time that we moved so quick because we were excited. We did a photo shoot the same week, and we dropped the photos probably like 5 days prior to the actual surgery. So I went in for an emergency surgery, get to the hospital, D&D. I was in great spirit because I wasn't thinking about what I was about to go through or what I was feeling. I just know that it had to be done, and the doctor that I had made me feel very comfortable with the decision to go ahead and move forward with terminating the pregnancy, or the pregnancy was going to terminate me. Showed up in the hospital. They got us ready. Husband's gonna finish what happened after that because I don't recall a lot.
Okay. I know she flew through a lot of the stuff, a lot of the details and everything. But
What details?
I know that everything was our decision together and all that stuff, but
Oh, as to how we got to.
yeah.
Oh.
So there was a lot. There's a lot.
Okay, you go ahead. You tell that part. I don't know if I can handle that. Go. Go.
So, there's a lot that went into us releasing information and telling people what's going on and all that. So I know I had a lot of consternation about telling everyone what was going on and all that stuff. But my loving wife was so excited about everything, and I kind of went along with a lot of
You went with the flow to announce
that
we were pregnant.
But I wasn't completely with it at that time because I didn't know, I didn't know that we had all the issues prior to this because she kept it to herself. But I knew that I wanted to be careful if it was true. If it was not, I wanted to be careful. I don't know what that time frame is. Some people, I don't know what it's called, but there's a safe zone, and I wanted to get there before we started telling everybody.
We were probably 2.5 to 3 weeks out from the safe zone that he's talking about, which everybody normally tells at 3 months.
Yeah. So I was kind of having a little issue with that, but we went ahead and we did it. So we told a lot of people. I told my parents. I told my parents. She told her parents. We told family. We told friends, and it was big that we let all that out. We did the photo shoot, and that was That was a big thing too. She gave me a gift. I still have it hang up in the room. She thinks it's creepy. But
I still have the shirts that we wore, so.
Yeah. So we still got some stuff that we're dealing with when it comes down to that road. You know, the doctors did tell us that, you know, we're having problems, we're having issues, blah, blah, blah. But my wife was like, I don't care. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep going. And
so with what he's talking about, I know y'all probably like, we're so vague. We went in for a routine checkup once we found out, because once the doctor found out that they confirmed that I was pregnant, they want us to come in for weekly checkups, or I think it was every 2-3 days. They wanted to come in and do blood work to check my levels. Levels were good. They finally reached 1,000, I think, and they decided to do an ultrasound that day. When they went in to do the ultrasound, I looked at my husband before they even started, and for some reason, I just said that we're just gonna pray that everything is in the right place and that we can move forward. So the doctor comes in, the nurse comes in, does the ultrasound, doesn't say anything. I'm looking at my husband looking at me, I'm looking at the screen, I don't see anything as well either. Doctor comes in, she gets another nurse, that nurse does it, still don't see anything. Another doctor comes in because my doctor wasn't there. He came in and he was like, we don't see a baby. We think you should take a shot to terminate a pregnancy, to send you into delivery or miscarriage or whatever you want to call it, to expel the baby. So I looked at my husband crying. You know, I don't know what he was feeling. I was confused. I felt like it was the worst letdown ever. I asked the doctor, how sure are you? And he said 15% sure. 15% for me to terminate a pregnancy that we weren't even trying for, that we've been waiting on for many years, is not enough for me to take a shot. So I decided to not take the shot. The pregnancy continued. I had a cheeseburger one day. Cheeseburger sent me to the emergency room, St. Francis. I called my sister because it was just this weird feeling, to the point where it crippled, like I just bent over. I couldn't even stand up, couldn't walk. Got to the emergency room, they checked my numbers. They said, oh, well, that was probably like, a week. So they checked my numbers. They said that my numbers had progressed from the last time. So they did an ultrasound, they didn't see anything. And I asked them how sure they were as to terminating the pregnancy, because they wanted me to take the shot as well. And they came back with, we're not sure at all. We can't make that call. We can't tell you. Like, I'm like, are you 50% sure? And they was like, no, we're not sure at all. It may be too early for the pregnancy. The baby may be hiding. It's a number of things. So once again, I left the emergency room after I stopped hurting, came home, rested, denied the shot. We progressed 3 more weeks after that. No problems. Gaining weight, you know, I was calm, no sickness, you know, regular thing. I ate another cheeseburger, McDonald's cheeseburger. I don't know what it was about the cheeseburger, but I wanted the cheeseburger. I was here by myself because I was sneaking to get the burger because Otis was at work. Here by myself, and it hit me, bent me over again, and I had to almost crawl to the car. One of my friends, my great friend, Satidra, pulled up and she asked me what I was doing. I was like, Tidra, this baby is not gonna make it. So, sorry. She told me that we could go to she would take me to the hospital. So I got in the car. I couldn't even sit on my butt, like. And the whole way there, I just was like, this is it. I kept telling her, this is it. She's like, being supportive, encouraging. But I just knew that that was it. We get to the hospital. I think Otis finally, we called Otis. Teacher called Otis on the way there. We get there, we get in the room. My family, sister, dad, brother-in-law, everybody showed up. And the doctor came in and she was like, I think you should take the shot again. And they went and did this extensive search of x-rays and ultrasounds and all types of stuff and CT scans, and came back and they was like, well, we think you should take the shot. And I was like, well, I'm not going to take the shot. How sure you are? How sure are you? And they were like, we're not sure at all, once again. And so they was like, just let us cut you and explore. So I looked at my sister, I looked at my family, we took a vote, because at this point, let me tell y'all, I wasn't stable like enough to make that decision. You know, like I was out of it. Like in my mind, I was saying, if I gotta leave here to not make this decision, if this baby take me out, I'm okay with that. Because I couldn't make the decision to terminate the pregnancy, even that far along and everything. So
at that point,
okay, go ahead.
the doctor came and talked to me, pulled me to the side, and she said they couldn't find anything. And at this point, I had to make a decision. So I made the decision for them to go forward with what they were doing.
So what they came in, they told me, they came back and they said, well, we want you to follow up with your doctor. And I think that's what her and Otis decided. So I followed up with my doctor, who was amazing. I went in, she prayed with me, you know, she was just sweet. And she said, now these numbers, so that was that morning, it was probably around 8 o'clock. She said, if these numbers come back and they're falling, she's like, we need to move forward with termination. So she called me, it was 8 o'clock, by 9:30, she gave me a call. I remember I was at the store because we had a trip planned for the next day where I had to do work in Reno, Nevada for hair. And she told me, she said, Dee, I'm sorry, I need you to come in. We need to go ahead and move forward with the ectopic removal. Your numbers are dropping. And she said, you may be at a point where your tube may burst, which will be a problem. So I called Otis, told him I was on my way. She asked me, had I ate? And I was like, yeah. She was like, tell me I had ate because they need to do the surgery. So I went in. Otis met me there. We prepped. Went in for the surgery. I was in good spirits when I went in. I think I was in good spirits when I came out. The only thing I asked my doctor, I said, and she laughed, I said, the only way I'm allowing you to do this surgery is that you have me on the plane by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, because I could not miss this job. And she promised that she would. So we had the surgery that morning, probably around 12. I don't remember much after that because I was kind of doped up.
Well, they went in, and when they came out, which was somewhat of a miracle, if you ask me. So she had fibroids going on, and the doctor that we had prior to now said the fibroids weren't an issue. So we never did the surgery. When they were doing examinations and whatnot, the other doctor was saying that we need to remove them. Didn't think nothing of it. Our primary doctor did say remove them, so we left it alone. So when they went in this time, the whole time they were telling her that she only had one tube to begin with. And so we thought we were operating off of one fallopian tube.
And I lost.
And with this ectopic pregnancy, it was far enough along to where the tube where the pregnancy happened was damaged. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, we've lost all possibilities of having a natural child at this point.
I think she said
all this stuff.
She told them that because we had this trip planned, had I got on the plane that day, I probably wouldn't be here today because the tube was so far gone that it would have burst. If it could have burst if someone bumped me or anything like that. So then we got the fibroid removed a couple of weeks after that. The thing that they did not prepare me for with the loss was the after effect of being pregnant like that for that long and then losing a child. I didn't know I was going to go through the gorging process where my breast filled and all this stuff. Like, it was the worst feeling ever, because it was like my body was saying I have a baby, but in my mind I'm like, I don't have a baby. When we came home, I remember the whole time I was there, my husband was very supportive. When we came home, I just started freaking out because I looked at him and I said, this place just has so many bad memories when we got ready to land in Greenville. And it was just a bad place for me. And I remember walking off the plane, like, just remembering, like, feeling all the emotions, I guess, from the loss, not knowing how long it was going to take me to get over the whole situation. But we moved forward and we supported one another as the best way that we knew how, because we did learn some things from that situation. We had the fibroid removal.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be a blessing.
Yes. So with that, they did the fibroid removal, and then once they removed the fibroid, they found her other tube, and they found that it was healthy. I guess it was preserved over time. But they said when they removed it, it started out as blue, and then as time went on, it turned red. And then they checked for viability, and they said it was good to go.
And the good thing about what he told me that was that when he saw the tube, he said it was necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was losing so much blood with the fibroid, he had to go ahead and get the other fibroids, and he was going to come back and get the tube.
Yeah, so he waited. And with him waiting, the blood actually was able to go where it was supposed to go. So.
And they said I had a unicorn uterus, so when they removed the fibroid, he said the uterus just began to expand in front of his eyes. He had never seen anything like that in his life. So at the end of the day, the whole loss actually gave us hope.
Yeah.
Like, it hurt us, but it also gave us hope as well, because exploratory surgery showed us that things weren't what they seemed to be in the beginning. So we just wanted to come to you all today to talk about our some of our loss, and that's probably how deep we're gonna go. We're not gonna go too much deeper than that, as far as the loss and how many and all that. But I'm just grateful that we learned and we've been there for each other throughout the whole process. And let's say cheers to no more loss, hopefully.
Cheers.
Okay. We will be dropping some other stuff.
You guys are gonna enjoy them. That's all that matters.
See y'all soon. Love you. Peace. Do the peace. Good.